So it's happening. Gold at 4,000, silver breaking below $60 an ounce. We're going to take a look at silver today. We're going to look at the chart. We're going to look at the technicals. What to expect from the silver price. What will the next move be? And I'm going to tell you today what I'm going to do today and tomorrow in the silver market. It's probably not what you think. Let's get into it. Welcome to Hot Trades of the Day, your show for swing trading ideas for the coming days, weeks, and month. Welcome to Hot Trades of the Day. My name is Daniel Helmy. Well, these are the type of shows where I'm like, well, okay, so I've been right, but would have been kind of nice if I would have been wrong, because what I was right about doesn't make really anybody happy, myself included. And that is the breakdown in gold and in silver. Here we see the silver chart, silver spot. You saw we broke below this purple line around $60, and then we had a flush sell-off. Yeah, confirmed the downtrend that has been in place since May, and now we've reached a critical level. We have reached the uptrend that has been in place since April 2025. So the tariff chaos, will this level hold? Now, big picture, if you follow this channel, you're familiar with it. Let me zoom out real quick so you get the full big picture. I gotta switch to the weekly on this. Pardon me. Here we go. There it is. So we got the high in silver from the previous silver bull market right here. That's the light blue line. And now I'm going to get back to the daily. Here we go. So this is the light blue line. Then we have this dark blue line, which is the double high. After we broke above and broke out from the long silver consolidation bottoming base, we broke out, and this became the new resistance zone, which is around $53, $54. So everybody thinks we're going to go and retest the light blue line, which according to technical analysis, yeah, that would make sense. It's a retest of the historical breakout area. I think that's not what's going to happen in the market. If you follow this channel, you know that has been my opinion for weeks. If you missed those videos, hit the subscribe button so you are ahead of the markets, because we predicted this silver crash here on the channel. I've been talking about undercutting 60 and then undercutting the 200. Let me add the 200 and the 50-day real quick. There we go. So the logical level now for the market, who will always try to cause the most pain to most investors, would be to undercut the uptrend this long green uptrend right here, but do not all the way bounce down, fall down to this light blue zone where all the people have their buying orders ready. So when everybody's ready and says, well, if we hit 50, I'm gonna buy like there's no tomorrow for silver, because the long-term fundamentals, guess what? Anybody who has put any effort into looking at the fundamentals of silver knows they're extremely positive. I'm not going to recite all of them, just year 6 of the supply deficit and comeback of the solar industry. That's all you need to know. So that would be the biggest pain point of the market. You usually do well when you can find the pain point and then play this. Now, RSI on the daily is oversold. We're under 30. We're at 27 right now. I would love to see us break below the uptrend and get a flush sell, get a real flush sell going. That would be ideal, because remember, my concept is fast flush sell down, then building out structure and then bouncing back up quickly. That would be an ideal scenario of the end of this correction for silver and gold. What do I mean with a flush sale? Well, this right here. We broke below this yellow support zone. Big sell-off. Long tail in the candle. Here, we broke this short-term, then it was a medium-term uptrend that started last fall for the first time. See, big intraday sell-off, long tail. All these stops got triggered. They were here, 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 and then we got back up. As you can see, we got below it a little bit yesterday, but that's not really a big stop triggering flush sale. So that's what I would like to see. Now, will we get this right now? Who knows? Maybe not. There's a little bit of pressure right now. That is the weakness after we held this uptrend yesterday. Is disappointing. Shows us there are no buyers in silver yet. There are no buyers in gold yet. So the probabilities are to the downside right now. Now, we got to take a look at the dollar. We know the dollar triggers gold, gold triggers silver, sentiment, we know. So gold, the dollar, the Dixie is taking a breather. That's interesting, but also normal after this huge run-up that we basically had in 1 week. And you see here what happened the last time we had any type of, oh yeah, okay, so the dollar is gonna have a correction phase, and then it just ran right up. So we cannot use this as an indication that the pressure from the FX side on gold and silver is gonna go down anytime soon. So I still believe we're going to break the uptrend with a flush sale. I still stand by that. I do not believe we're going to go down to 50. The exception is if the dollar goes to the upper end of the ultra long-term downward channel, then yeah, we're definitely going to see $50 in silver. So I want to hold some money back for this. Now, let's take a look at the silver stocks real quick, because we talked about strategy and what I gonna do today myself. Is the global X silver miners? That doesn't look good. Let's be honest with it, right? So we got this support zone that held the March lows. We already broke below it here. We broke below it yesterday. We're at these lows. I can actually draw this in for you real quick. Here we go, so you see what I mean. Zone would be better, sorry about that. So here we go. So we are right at this zone. We're going to break this zone, which will obviously happen if silver goes down. And then the next leg down for the silver miner ETF would be this big zone right here. And I'm going to take this out because otherwise it gets too convoluted. So we also have a gap open that's right here. Yeah, we got a gap open that will definitely be filled if we make a new low. So that's about 8-9% down potential just for the gap fill. And then we'll see how it reacts in this support zone. Why do I think we're going to go down to this zone right here? Well, if I run a couple of fibs, you will see that they all, or both of them, meet with different, obviously, levels in the zone. Right here, we got a 618. It's right here. As you can see, it's pretty much right in the middle of the zone. That's when we take a fib all the way from the April low. If we take a fib, and that's what I like, if they convolute and coincide from the breakout last summer, which started this big rally in the silver miners, right? So if we take it from the breakout, not from the low, you see we got the 786 right here as well. So we got two fibs very much in the very much the same area, which is the midpoint or the upper half of this big support zone right here. That tells us also, okay, that is an area where we want to accumulate if we choose to buy so. And then obviously the big one, which would be silver $50, same thing, would be this zone down here. If I zoom out so you see it, this goes all the way back to 2020. Yeah, this is the 2020 high. So this would be the complete retest of the breakout, which then triggered, and we just ran the fibs, right? From here and from here. So will we go down to this lower zone? Only if we break down in silver down to 50. I still like my thesis more. Why? Because the fundamentals are there. Man, the sentiment is absolutely in the toilet, which is exactly what we want to see. If I read the comments, one of the things that I always loved about our community here, and you probably cherish too, is it's a positive group of people. We don't have the haters here, and we just have a real positive vibe to it, which I really appreciate. I'm sure you too. But none of it left right now. People are ready to throw in the towels, and that's twice as interesting because the majority of the people that are here are people that are really interested in the commodity sector. So this is not the general investor who has no idea about commodities and just trend follows whatever is hip. And they're ready to throw in the towel. That is the panic level capitulation that we want to see. So in our little micro world, we can already see the sentiment has reached the absolute bottom for gold and for silver. That is positive. So what am I going to do now? What am I going to do today? Well, I'm going to put in some deep buying limits for first positions today. I'm not buying at the market, and I'm not saying you should do this. I'm not your financial advisor. This is what I plan to do. Some deep limits, and we'll see if there's a big sell-off if I get filled. So I don't want to get in at the market. That risk reward is not interesting to me. But if I get in with deeper limits, 8%, 10% down intraday in mining stocks, possible if we get a panic sell, if we break the uptrend in silver. Now that is interesting to me because I will not wait for the absolute bottom, which I'm not going to hit anyway, to get in for one reason. And I talked about this briefly yesterday. And if you missed yesterday's video, hit the subscribe button. Let me talk about the dollar again. So here are the hot trades of the day. I have been on this for a long time, showing you the ultra long term. You know what? I'm going to show you this again because this is an important chart to keep in mind in these times. The ultra long term chart, which shows us there is a downward move, a devaluation move of the dollar coming. Now, might take us all the way to 2027. But it's coming. I don't think it's going to happen that long. But we'll see, right? We don't know. But here's what I'm looking for. So we have the breakout in the Dixie. And I told you my target is 103, 104, this area right here, where we also have a big gap open pretty much in the middle of it, 103.70, yeah. But what happens if this is a big fake out in the dollar? If we get this big bull trap right here, and we never even go up to 103, 104, that's in technical analysis where the price should go now. But what if it doesn't? Nobody's positioned for this possibility right now. And again, we got to look, what's the biggest pain point? The biggest pain point right now would be an epic bull trap in the dollar. So everybody gets lured into the dollar. Oh yeah, it's at least going to go to 103, 104, maybe 107, which is the upper end of the ultra long-term downward channel. And then we just get a bull trap and the dollar craps the bed and turns south. It's a possibility. So I want to be positioned for this scenario as well, and I will try to do this by getting into my first positions. And I stress the word first. I'm not going in 100%. I'm not even going in 50%. I'm buying small positions right now, but therefore I am in the market, and I am okay then if we should get a big bull trap surprise in the dollar. Do I anticipate this to happen? No. If you get a breakout like this after 14 months, and this is confirmed, especially on the weekly, I still think we're going to go to 103, 104. But it's possible that it's going to happen. And I'm going to get cheap prices. Now, finishing up this video, what am I looking to buy? Well, again, I'm not buying anything at the market. I'm putting in deep discounted buying limits and hope I'll get filled. And if not, then I'll reassess and see what happens. I want to buy either the strongest developers or senior explorers. Strongest meaning they're still way above the 200-day moving average. They are known to be companies that institutions and commodity investors, big commodity investors, gravitate to because they really like these companies. Or even better, what I'm focusing on, advanced developers that are going to go in production within the next 3 years, or junior producers. I'm not interested in the junior explorers. I'm not interested in any small cap, any micro caps right now. That's not where the money is going to flow first. The money is going to flow into the producers first and the advanced developers, and in the quality gold and silver companies that are in developer or senior exploration stage that technically still look very strong because there's no selling pressure. People do not want to sell those. That is what I'm looking into. That is it for today. So let's wait what's going to happen with silver and gold. Do we get the panic sell-off, the flush sale, the undercut, the liquidity grab, whatever you're going to call it? I think it's coming. The market is so close to it. It just, the Wall Street sharks, they are licking their shark teeth and they say, oh, we can make this happen. And we can push out the panicky weak hands and trigger stops. There are probably some margin calls still left of people that have been crazy bullish. I've told you for a month, do not do anything on margins. Get rid of the leverage. By the way, that's absolutely going to kill the people in the tech market if there ever is a steeper correction, but that's a completely different story for a different video. We're focusing on silver. I think the undercut is coming. I'll try to take advantage of it now with the first positions with a deep discounted buying limit. That's my strategy right now, while probably most people just going to sit on their hands or lay in front of their laptop in the fetal position doing nothing because they're shocked about what's going to happen. But this is when we need to act, or need to start acting more accurately. That's much better said, because you don't want to get in binary, as I've always said on this channel, that's not how smart money does it. That's not how we should do it. We're not going to pick the 100% bottom anyway, so there's no reason for us to get in 100% right now. Buy in increments, long term, it will pay off significantly. That's it for today. Have a good day. Let's see what's happening. We'll see us tomorrow. Bye-bye.